Today I'm going to compare the Asics Gel Nimbus 26 and the Asics Novablast 4. As a knee, foot and ankle specialist, I'm going to help break down the performance of each trainer, what their purposes are, what they feel like for standing, walking and running, and I'm going to talk about the fit and the comfort. So let's start off with the Gel Nimbus 26. We've got 41.5mm of cushioning in the back of the shoe, 33.5mm of cushioning in the front of the shoe, giving you an 8mm drop. And it's the same height of cushioning and an 8mm drop in the Novablast 4. However, they feel completely differently. So on the Nimbus 26 you have a much softer feel, so when you apply pressure to it you tend to sink into it more and you don't get as much energy return back out of the shoe. So that works more favorably for longer, easier, steadier runs. This is a much more responsive type of cushioning in the Novablast 4. So as you apply pressure to it, it tends to really propulse you forward. The geometry of the shoe is different. So as you can see on the Nimbus 24, it's got a really mild heel bevel at the back and it's got a relatively late 4-foot rocker. In contrast to that, you can see you've got a really aggressive heel bevel on the back and a really aggressive 4-foot rocker. So if you're a heel to toe striker, as you initiate contact with the ground, the fact that the bevel is lifted upward, it means that you tend to hit the shoe later, and then because this starts earlier, you then start to pulse forward quicker. So it really transitions you from back to the front of the shoe really quickly, giving you a smooth transition. If you land on the midfoot, the early 4-foot rocker again really helps pulse you forward. So it works for both types of runners. The foam is a lot more responsive and it's assisted by the geometry. So completely different feel on the foot. Then as we move up the shoe, we've got different stability features. So you've got sole flare, which comes out wider than where your foot sits in the shoe. That helps to keep it stable by giving a broader base of support. It's more prominent in the Novablast 4 than it is in the Nimbus, and we've also got bigger sidewalls on the Novablast 4 than we have on the Nimbus. The sidewalls come up to help cradle your foot, keep it centered on top of the shoe, and it reduces how much your foot can move side to side, helping to control pronation forces. It's a bit more of a racing snug type fit in the Novablast 4 on top. It's a true to size fit in terms of length, but it is a lot snugger. It does come in a wider version if you need that, but in the Nimbus it comes in a wide and an extra wide, and it's got a bit more plush cushioning, so a little bit heavier overall as a shoe because it's got a different type of upper in it, which gives you that more comfort feel, sock-like feel. The Novablast 4 is more of a lighter upper woven mesh. It feels like it wraps around your foot. Again, we got some contrast in the tongues, so both tongues are gusseted, so they're stitched into the shoe, but you've got a much thinner tongue on the Novablast 4 compared to a slightly more padded tongue on the Nimbus 26. We really like the heel pull-on tab and the tongue pull-on tab on the 26 because you can slip your foot in there. You've got the pull-on tab on the Novablast 4 but not on the tongue of the Novablast 4. So overall, they've got similar cushioning, but they feel completely different. This Novablast 4 is more of a performance shoe, so you use it for up-tempo runs, intervals, faster training. It can handle long distances, but it's not as much of a cruiser as what you get in the Nimbus 26. So the Nimbus just doesn't give you as much energy return in the cushioning, so it's really comfortable, especially if you're walking or standing for long periods of time. If you're trying to do runs, we recommend it for recovery days, easy long miles. It's really nice to fit and really comfortable overall. The Novablast 4 is still a shoe that we can use on day to day for walking and for standing because the cushioning is so comfortable, but it's more of a racing shoe or more of an up-tempo shoe than what you get in the Nimbus. If you've got any questions on either of these shoes, please leave them in the comment section below. We've got loads of reviews on Asics shoes and all different brands. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you found it helpful.